Brian's movies are unlike anyone else's. They're wonderful, complicated jigsaw puzzles that are meant to go together in a particular way, but he doesn't tell you how. You have to sort of suss it out, which makes it a lot of fun. I thought, what have I done? I've ruined my chances with De Palma. After I did Star Wars, George offered me The Empire Strikes Back, and Brian was getting ready to direct Dressed to Kill. And he said to me, what am I going to do? Who's going to cut my movie? So I said, well, the best editor in New York is Jerry Greenberg. If you could get him, you'll be fine. And then it worked out. Jerry was skeptical. He thought Brian, he sort of had a sort of snobbish attitude toward Brian. But then when he started working with him and getting the dailies, he fell in love with the work. Brian's movies are unlike anyone else's. They're wonderful, complicated jigsaw puzzles that are meant to go together in a particular way, but he doesn't tell you how. You have to sort of suss it out, which makes it a lot of fun. And it's very visual storytelling. He disdains dialogue for the most part and tries to communicate things visually. Nobody moves the camera like Brian. Nobody designs set pieces like Brian. I think he's underestimated. He has flaws, that get in the way of a more widespread appreciation, I think. But anyway, so Jerry, cut Dressed to Kill, and it was a big hit. I think probably bigger than Carrie. I don't know. Carrie was a pretty big hit. But I thought to myself, what have I done? I've introduced Brian to this is like
your replacement,
like Wally Pipp, who takes himself out of a baseball game and replaced by Lou Gehrig, who's played in 1,700 games in a row from that point on. So I thought, what have I done? I've ruined my chances with De Palma. So Jerry got a number of pictures for Brian, and then later he and I both worked on Mission Impossible, because when they started shooting, Brian had hired Jerry. By that time, I had moved to the West Coast, and he hired Jerry to do the picture. They were shooting in London, and then the studio decided they wanted to bring the picture out at Christmas instead of the following spring. And they all decided they needed a second editor, and he offered it to me, and I took the job. And Jerry was the lead editor on that. And a few weeks into production, Brian fired Jerry. And I'm not really exactly clear on what happened or what.
So that's not in the book.
Yeah, it is. It is in the book. If you had read it, you'd know, Rafi.
So what you're saying is Wally Pipp got back his job as first baseman of the Yankees.
Exactly.